Hello, everyone. My name is Brandon Rowe, and I am dedicated to improving my own life and also helping you guys and girls out there to improve your lives as well. Today's video is going to be a little bit less focused on the straight up, easy ways to improve your life or think about life. It's more a philosophical video talking about suicide, which is one of the hardest topics to talk about, especially in Western culture today. We really don't know what to do with this thing of suicide. It's even illegal in areas to commit suicide. So I'm going to be commenting on suicide and how it is one of the most dangerous things that we face as humanity. And the reason why it's so dangerous is because with each person who commits suicide, they're basically doing the most serious action they possibly could to make a statement, whether they are thinking of it this way or not. When someone commits suicide, they're making a statement that this life, this reality, this physical human form that we're in right now is not good enough, that the suffering is way too high, that there's not enough reward in life, that life is in some way incomplete and not worth enduring. And this is a problem because almost every part of all cultures all around the world are really struggling to promote the idea that life is worth living. And it's kind of a spit in the face to our ancestors when someone commits suicide because, no matter what they're going through in the moment, that action to commit suicide, to end your own life, is really just stating that the suffering you're enduring right now is too great and that this is not worth it. This whole experience of life on earth is not worth it. And that all the struggle of all of the ancestors, everyone who came before me, fighting off saber-toothed tigers and living in hunter-gatherer bands trying to, scrounge up food from limited resources, none of that was worth it. And even though I'm in a good environment, technically, I have most of my needs met, now I've realized in the modern world, I'm speaking hypothetically, now I've realized that things are just not worth it. I can't endure this suffering. It's far too great, and we basically shouldn't have even taken it this far. This all was in vain. All the work was in vain. That's what suicide is stating. As an action, that is what is happening. It is really a statement when someone commits suicide. And it really is all about, is this experience we're going through worth it or not? And there are so many structures in place. I would argue almost every single one is also using as one of the main themes underlying it. One of the main themes of all these institutions around us is the idea that life is worth living, do your best, make things better here on planet Earth. Colleges are like this. People are working so hard, taking classes, trying to get qualifications so they can make more money, to have a better life, to have a family, to do all these normal, important things. And also we can look at military, even hurting other people. Most of the time people do this because they see in some way or another it's making things better for either themselves or maybe humanity as a whole, or maybe their country as a whole. When people go to work, they have this same idea, this same principle. Life at least can be worth living, and we should do our best to make it better and a better experience. Let's say, for example, I go to work in a factory for 12 hours a day, and it really kind of sucks most of the time I'm there. But, maybe the reason I would do that is so that I can make a little bit more money, live in a little bit better house, meet a spouse or a partner, because I've fulfilled that normal social obligation to contribute value in the form of a job or doing something. All of these things really tie into that core concept that life is worth living, or at least has the potential to be if we put work into it. And therefore, I'm going to put work into making my personal life and maybe the lives of other people around me and other structures around me improve all of these things so that we can have a more pleasant experience here on Earth. And even if you look to religions, this also happens there. Especially an example that comes to mind for me is Buddhism. So one of the core tenets or the core philosophies of Buddhism is really about escaping suffering or somehow transcending it through enlightenment. This is what Buddha did. He detached himself from all of the normal things that people were doing, like having jobs, trying to make things better in a neurotic way. He said, wait a minute, what is this enlightenment thing? Maybe this isn't exactly how it happened, but the suffering was there, and there was a human will to get away from the suffering. He just happened to look at it in a different way to see that maybe the path to get away from suffering was to get away from the ways, from all of these material things that we are seeing as ways to improve our lives. So even in a way that, in a philosophy that is so different from many others, such as, what we see in Western culture, like I'm going to go to work to make more money and make a better living, even though Buddhist philosophy is so different than that, they're really trying to solve the same problem. Make this experience that we're all going through durable, or something that we can endure, and make it good enough so that we don't have to think about killing ourselves. And that's why it's so dangerous for people to do that, for people to get in the situation where they would feel like it's necessary or worth it or the right decision to end one's own life. So I hope this idea came across in a way that you guys could fully grasp. I tried my best with it. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, a like on YouTube, and also comment below. Let me know what you liked about it, or if you have any questions about my thoughts on this topic. And other than that, I hope to see you guys in future videos. The best way to do that, if you're interested in my content, is obviously to subscribe and hit the notification bell icon that YouTube has. And yeah, thank you for watching all the way through, and I will see you guys in another video.